Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. I want to remind you today that if you have been avoiding a difficult conversation with somebody, with someone you're in a relationship with, intimate or not, today's reminder is to have the freaking conversation. Because essentially in all relationships, and especially in intimate ones, there tends to be an avoidant person and an anxious person. The anxious person tends to need to have their insecurities met, and they need to constantly have, I don't want to say needy, but it's like this need for reassurance, right? Because they're anxious, so they need to be reassured. The avoidant person is like, I don't want to reassure this because I'm trying to avoid emotions and hard conversations. That makes me feel insecure and feel unsafe. So these two people, when they are in relationship together, the anxious person tends to have some sort of feeling or emotion, and then they tend to bottle it away because they are scared that having the conversation is going to lead the avoidant person into running from them, right? Because the anxious is the chaser, the avoidant is the runner. That's typically how it goes, unless you are working on yourselves to be healthy attachment style. So at the end of the day, I always like to think of things as like, anyone that's having an issue in a relationship is having some sort of emotion, feels a shift in the relationship and wants to talk about it. All the underlying thing is that they are trying to reconnect. They are trying to make the relationship closer and stronger. The avoidant person doesn't like those feelings and they tend to run, which then reinforces the insecurity in the anxious person. So, end of the day, where does this lead? It leads to, rather than creating whatever stories it is in your head that are reinforcing the insecurities, have the freaking conversation. Like, just have it, because eventually, just like all things, it's going to bubble up and come to the surface in one way or another, right? It might not come out the way you want it to, it might whatever, but that is what happens. Eventually, these emotions and feelings and thoughts, they have to be let out, right? And to do it in a healthy manner, you have the conversation. The unhealthy manner is the blow up randomly at a Starbucks or whatever the fuck it is. So today's reminder, have the difficult conversations, because at the end of the day, why we avoid having them is because we are scared of the outcome, right? We don't want to lose the person. We don't want to lose the relationship. We don't want to piss people off. We don't want to fracture their ego. We don't want to do things that are going to make them run from us even more. And you're not saving anything by doing that, by keeping it bottled up, right? Because what's worse, the stories you're creating in your head or having the difficult conversation? Because I promise you, as somebody who is a genius at creating stories in my head, it's a lot worse to have the stories and like, well, what if this? What if this? What if this? Just have the freaking conversations. Now, I'm somebody who can have the conversations. Obviously, I have no problem being vulnerable. We know this. But so I don't have a problem having the difficult conversations because I know that the outcome is coming regardless. So whether or not I have this conversation now and I'm fearful of the ending of a relationship, or if I do it in a year from now, the outcome is inevitable. So if you are in partnership, friendship, relationship, whatever it is, where things are feeling not great for you and you want to talk about it and you don't know how, just get curious. That's how you have the conversations, right? I was listening to a podcast this morning and the girl was talking about how her and her partner hadn't been having sex as much recently, like the passion had sort of died. And I listened to this, and this girl, so then she went down the rabbit hole, went through his phone, went through his computer, went through all the stuff to like try to find the answer. But the answer's in your partner. The answer's in the conversation. It wasn't in his phone. It wasn't all of these things that were just reinforcing insecurities in your brain, right? It was in the conversation, and all you have to say is, hey babe, I am feeling like a shift in our sex life. I don't know if you see it or if it's just in my head, but like, I'm curious. Can we talk about it? The end. then see where the conversation goes. Don't get triggered. Be calm. Come with a regulated nervous system when you're having it. You know, don't let ego get in the way of solution. So, end of the day, have the difficult conversations. It's important. It's necessary. You need to do it. Don't put it off. All it's doing is saving you time and helping with your peace of mind. So do it. All right. I hope you guys have a great day and good luck with difficult conversations.